Remember what the Dormouse said. Feed your head.
Welcome back, my beautiful people, and maybe a few Mad Hatters. Before we get started, did you find my Easter egg in my last video? Guess you just aren't ready for the truth yet. That's okay. Fox News and NBC are waiting for you to come back. So before taking you down my personal journey, let's start with an easy lie. The JFK Assassination. Oswald was the shooter, wasn't he? I'd been to the repository. A homage to the Warren Commission. How it happened. Exactly how two simple shots did all that damage. But it's all a lie. Oswald was a marksman and a crack shot. Lies. The multiple shots heard, those are just echoes. Lies. The grassy knoll. Not sure why they call it that. Because the individual who was actually the person who killed JFK was hiding behind a fence behind the grassy knoll. The large explosion that blew off the back of his head. That's just how bullets work. Getting your autopsy photos doctored. They're not even real. How to make it look like it came from the book repository window. Lies. Jack Ruby insistence on making sure that Oswald paid for his crimes. Like he was some kind of hero. Lies. Jack Ruby dying in prison of a mysterious cause. What was it? Cancer. Said he was sick. More like radiation poisoning. Lies. The real assassin used a Remington fireball with a scope that fit into a briefcase. Look it up. There's a reason why. They don't want you to exhume the body and have it tested. Because the bullet that was used was not a normal bullet. It was a custom round. Custom made by an assassin. He said he put mercury inside of it. That's interesting. I wonder if they tested his blood. Probably some traces of mercury all over that crime scene, but especially inside his head. That's why the head had to be doctored. There's so much damage, and mercury is so easily traceable, and that will lead to questions. But there were multiple assassins that day. Just the fireball was the only one that actually had the kill shot. The agency, also known as the company, look it up, has been in charge ever since. Politicians who could be compromised and easily controlled, hungry for power and money and pleasure. Hoover, the FBI director, he must have cared. No. He couldn't wait to call Robert Kennedy and let him know the truth is the target that day was actually him for going after the agency, the company, and the mafia. They all hated him. Oh, and not to mention the Black Pope, who gave him orders and he didn't comply. JFK tried to warn us about secret societies and their control over America. Hoover was almost smug. Not that he had anything to do with it, not because he didn't know it was coming and then try to stop it. No. That's why he was just outside of San Antonio at the horse track, so that he wouldn't be blamed. But he didn't get in the way and try to stop it, did he? Johnson must have been real upset. No. He looked happy that day. He looked excited. He thought he could do a better job. He was a powerful man, but also corrupt to the core, and willing to do anything to have his name secured in history. He didn't like being called Uncle Corn Pop. He didn't like the Kennedys. He didn't like how they knew how he made his money, and how dirty of a politician he really was. Made him mad and furious. Even one of his whores even said so. Most of his whores didn't live very long. I wonder why. Speaking of whores, Jackie knew about John's whores. Jackie must have been very upset. Something that always bothered me. When John was shot in the throat that day, why didn't he fall? Why didn't he cower on the floor? Why didn't he try to protect himself? I mean, he had been shot in the neck. Well, the truth is, he couldn't. For some reason, he was strapped in tight, but not by a seatbelt, but with a harness. That's right. He had a bad back, and they were going to help him make sure that he could sit up straight and look very presidential that day. Couldn't move, couldn't get out of the way. I wonder why, and why were the reporters who reviewed the Zapruder tape, after it finally came out, did they say it's confirmed? Yes, Oswald, he definitely was the shooter. He definitely got hit in the back of the head, even though the film said the exact opposite happened. No, he was hit in the front, just above the eyebrow, and then it blew off the back of his head. That's why Jackie went onto the back of the car to retrieve the bits of his head. But it was too late. He was already dead. Didn't blood get on her dress? I'm sure there's no mercury there. I'm sure there's no mercury anywhere that got bloodstains on it that day. No, don't test those. That might just draw more questions. But the media knew better. They knew how to keep their secrets. They knew how to repeat them. They knew how to make sure to keep repeating the lies, to make sure that the truth never came out. Now the lies can no longer be hid, and we know about what happens when you uncover the lies. The truth comes out, and the truth will set you free. So you're still here, are you? Sounds like you want to know more about this big event. Well, maybe I'll tell you the name of the true assassin that day. His name was James Files. Look it up.